Welcome everyone to our Burlington Old Timers Hockey Club Championship Day at Appleby Arena. This is the final game for the Red Division. With us here today are
Scott Malia
and Mike Phillips. Excellent. One of you is doing play-by-play and one is doing color.
Correct. I'll be Scott Malia will be doing play-by-play.
I'm doing color.
Thanks for helping out, guys. On the MC of the day is Gunther Schuber, who's scored keeper's league. He's from goals, assists, for the team. And not sure who the refs are.
Michael Pladson's one. Is it Michael? I know it's Pladson. Dave Pladson. And Dave Ryan.
So you got the best refs. Two teams. All right. So thanks for doing this, guys. And just to kick off, and maybe you can tell everybody how did these two teams get to the show.
Well, the Habs got to the show because they went 5-0 in the playoffs. They were winning 7 goals in those 5 games, so they were the Bruins.
Oh yeah.
And then the Bruins, one of the few teams ever in the history of the league, that the final with only 6 points in the playoffs.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Puck drop. The Bruins win the draw. Robbie Brown dumps it in under the blue line. As the Habs go D to D, Cal Scott picks up the puck, chips it up the boards. And you got a drop pass from Rob Dion over to Todd Cummings, and it's deep in the zone. Picked up by Cummings out front. Robbie Dion with a nice little chance out front.
Hey Scott, just so people don't know, the Burlington Old Timers Hockey Club, founded in 1975, so that means we are coming up on a half century in existence. So great on the league. 8 divisions, 48 teams, over 1,000 members, makes it one of the largest over 35 hockey leagues in the world. So great job by the members of the Burlington Old Timers Hockey Club, and great for the community that supports them as well.
One of the best leagues to play in for sure. Another face-off in the neutral zone. Won again by Brent Garbett, another one of the young, really good players in this league. Reverse behind the net from the Bruins, chipped up the boards. Looks like Rob McIntosh has picked up the puck, and the Bruins are away on a 2-on-2. Jim Edmonds, Joe Idle. Oh, and a great pass from Jim Edmonds cross ice. One touch for Brent Garbett, top cheese. He puts it in the net, and it's 1-0 Bruins. This is something the Habs haven't had to face much this year in the playoffs, as they've been up on everybody.
Yeah, that's, we were saying before the broadcast started, Scott, that it'd be really huge to get the first goal of the Bruins start first. So great start for the Bruins, maybe a little surprising, as you said.
It'll be interesting to see how the Habs perform here with a little bit of adversity. Puck won again by the Bruins off the faceoff and dumped deep into the Habs zone. Paul Wilson over to Robbie Kieran and up the boards, and here's got Brandon Gratton breaking out. A little pass over to Mark Goulet, and they're pushing wide. Shot on net. Good save by the goaltender, Daryl Muscat. Little balance out front. Oh, and a beautiful chance by Brandon Gratton, and an absolutely stunning glove save by Daryl Muscat. Puck's chipped out in the neutral zone and then chipped back in again. Rob McGowan back to pick it up. Scrapes off a forechecker. Chris Falco picks it up. And the Bruins are away in the neutral zone. Chris Falco, all by himself. Nice shot on net. Good save, John Marini. Rob Riley looking for an outlet, and he passes it back to Brian Moore, chips it deep into the Habs zone. Brandon Gratton with no pressure. Brandon Marsh with no pressure picks it up and heads the other way for the Habs. Over center ice. Takes a long shot. Daryl Muscat with a save. Kills it for the whistle.
One thing that we should mention about the Habs is they went 5-0 in the playoffs, in the round robin playoffs. They did not lose a game. They went 5-0, so their defense and their goaltending was a large part of their game. The Habs only let in 7 goals in those 5 games. That's less than 2 goals a game.
They certainly had a good playoffs. Because Michael Taylor away with the puck over the blue line, throws a pass wide. J.D. Pettit with a chip back to the point. Puck is thrown out in the neutral zone by the Habs to relieve the pressure and dumped back in again by Matt McIntosh behind his own net. Kyle Scott's got the puck. Misses the outlet. It's all the way down the ice, but it's going to go for icing.
And so far, surprise so far that the Bruins have taken a 1-0 lead in this championship game. I want to talk a little bit about the BOHC. It is 100% volunteer run, and it is a not-for-profit organization, which makes it an important member of the community.
Another face-off in the offensive zone to the left of goaltender John Marini, the Habs. Chipped out by the Habs, who won the face-off. Jay Continenza on the rush. Trying to beat the DY. Nice defensive play by the Bruins, who tightened up in the slot to not give up much. Pete Crawley with a wide shot. Goes to the other side. On the right point now, Kyle Scott chips it deep. And almost a stretch pass for the Bruins to send Michael Taylor away, but it's going to go for an ice.
And in case you're watching this game, you're thinking, man, are we really that slow? It's a matter of, no, this is not time to adjust your TV set. This is the speed of the game. It looks a little slower on TV. It might look a little faster if you hit fast forward. But,
more cameras help move faster. One camera slows you down. Face off in the Bruins zone to the left of Daryl Muscat, won by the Bruins. Up the left boards, Jim Edmonds with a puck, chips it back underneath. Rob McGowan back to pick it up. Rob McGowan heading up ice. Just chips it out into a safe spot. Underneath Robbie Kieran heading back into his own zone to pick it up for the Habs. Kieran with a puck. Makes a cross-ice pass, not picked up by Robbie Dion. Rob Brown, just the anchor of the back end for the Bruins, picks up the puck, sends the Bruins back the other way with the chip out to the neutral zone. Here we go, Brent Garbett picks up the puck, hard shot on net for the against John Marini, the Habs. Underneath, Paul Wilson tries to dump it to relieve the pressure. Dave Brown and Rob Brownie back down the wall, and a close chance here out front that almost got by goaltender Marini. Paul Wilson dumps the puck down the ice for an icing to relieve the pressure the Bruins are putting on.
So Scott, anything unexpected you're seeing so far in the game? Anything that caught your attention?
No, you know what? The Bruins have had a great playoffs. They changed quick, and it was imperative for them to get off to a good start. They'll come at you at waves, and the Habs are a bit of a counter team. They'll throw pucks out in the neutral zone and try to beat you underneath and catch you. So right now, certainly the lead for the Bruins is good for them, and we'll see what happens. Face off to the right of Marini. Chris Falco loses the draw. Puck's out in the neutral zone, and it's picked up by Drew Tarnicki. DDD pass over to Brian Moore. Up through the neutral zone, chipped by Falco, and now picked up by the Habs. Pete Crawley throws it back the other way for the Habs. Mark Goulet, offside. Brandon Marsh. We're going to have a face-off on the Bruins offside circle.
You would think the Bruins won a low-scoring championship game because the Habs won't allow a whole lot of goals against. The Bruins need to figure out how to beat the Habs goaltender John Marini, and that is a real challenge as they've only let in 7 goals in the 5 playoff games.
Face-off one in the neutral zone by Jay Continenza, chipped in by Brandon Marsh, picked up by Brian Moore, looking to go the other way. Puck up the middle, it's going to go for an ice again. Tried to hit the stretch pass, Ford couldn't pick it up in time, so we'll have a face-off left of Daryl Muscat in the Bruins zone.
So both the Hockey League and the Community Service Club, that's the BOHC, and over the years we've donated over hundreds of thousands of dollars for great causes in Burlington.
Falco and Goulet on a scrummed face-off, picked up by Falco, and the Bruins are away. Out in the neutral zone, Brian Moore picks it up. He's heading in with a burst of speed. Picked up nicely by Kyle Scott of the Habs and turned away, and it's chipped back the other way. Rob Riley hustling back into his own zone, picking up the puck just above the goal line. DDD pass to Tarnicki, who moves the puck up in the neutral zone to Brian Moore coming across again. Brian Moore, the defender, first on the forecheck for the Bruins at this particular point. And the puck is chipped back out in the neutral zone. Last man back is Matt McIntosh, who just puts it in a safe spot. Kyle Scott picks it up for the Habs, and they're back in over the Bruins blue line. Again, turned over. Here we go with the Bruins. 2-on-1. Michael Taylor, Victor Bayless. Oh, great shot by Michael Taylor, turned away by John Marini. Brownie turns away an opportunity for the Habs at his blue line, sends his team back the other way. Victor Bayless. Habs just keep doing their thing. Whenever they're under pressure, they just try to chip it out in the neutral zone. You've seen a lot of that at this point. Chip back in the Bruins. The Bruins would like to keep them in their zone, keep those skilled forwards of the Habs tied up. Matt McIntosh with a puck over the blue line, sends it over to Victor Bayless on the right side, who carries deep into the Habs zone. Coming around the back of the net, Victor Bayless tries the jam play, stuffed by John Marini. Chipped up the other way, here comes Continenza. Over red line, over to Harrison Rostopoulos, who dumps one in that's just turned away easily by the goalie Muscat. Harrison picks up the puck again, tries to carry deep under the goal line. JD Pettit picks off the centering pass and heads the other way for the Bruins. Puts it in a nice safe spot. Here you go, Bruins. Full line change coming out the other way. Brent Garbett underneath the goal line trying to put some pressure. Habs are looking dangerous on the outlet. Robbie Dion, drop pass over to Todd Cummings. Turned over, nobody available in the slot. Joe Idle breaking away for the Bruins. 3 across their blue line, up now across the Habs blue line. Another turnover. Todd Cummings over to Paul Greenlee, still known for the nifty mittens. Greenlee one-on-one, throws a hard shot, nice save by Muscat. Greenlee with the puck under the goal line, tries to center for Dion. Oh, big save off of Greenlee by Daryl Muscat again. Greenlee is really on at this shift. Robbie Dion with an opportunity, doesn't get through. Rob Kieran in the slot, shoots it wide. Greenlee another shot on net. Here we go, the Bruins are pinned in, but Idle picks up the puck. Sends an outlet to Jim Edmonds. Idle 1-on-3, trying to go in. He has the puck taken away from him. Habs just chip it out, put it in a safe spot again. Picked up by Rob McGowan and stripped away. Puck is a lot of back and forth here. Paul Wilson picks up the puck now underneath his goal line. He moves out, D-to-D pass to Rob Kieran. He sends it up to Brandon Martian, the way to the races with a 3-on-2. Rob Riley picks up the puck for the Bruins off the busted play. Mark Goulet picks it up in the neutral zone for the Habs. Kyle Scott across to Robbie Allen. That pass is not on the mark. Rob Riley picks it up, beats his first man, chips it underneath. Chris Falco with a puck under the goal line coming out for the Bruins. And it's chipped out to the neutral zone. Again, Matt McIntosh putting it in a safe spot. Goes into the Bruins bench. We have a stoppage in play.
Enjoying the sights of seeing two winter rivals, at least the sweaters anyway. You've got the dark Bruin sweater and black and gold. And then you've got the Canadiens, the Habs, with the white jerseys with the red trim. So two rivals indeed in the NHL, and the rivals in the final game of the BOHC.
Michael Taylor against Mark Goulet. Goulet wins the faceoff in the neutral zone in front of the Habs bench. D-to-D. Kyle Scott bringing it up through the neutral zone, steps over center, over to Brandon Gratton. Brandon chips one deep, picked up by Kyle Scott under the goal line. Michael Taylor tries to chip it out, which is stopped at the blue line by Robbie Allen. Just under the Bruins blue line here. It's finally chipped into a safe spot for the Bruins. Kyle Scott picks it up, looks up ice, throws it to him wide, hoping to pick up a forward, but it's an icing at this point. Face-off will be back in the Habs zone to the left of goaltender John Marini.
We were talking earlier, Scott, about Paul Greenlee and his offensive prowess. I mean, I think he led the league in the scoring in the regular season, something like 65 points or something like that. So the Bruins definitely got to be aware of Greenlee when he's on the ice and dangerous guy for the Habs.
He has the ability to hide and show up at the worst time for his opponents. Still very skilled. Puck is controlled now by the Habs on the way into the Bruins zone. Wide shot on net. Back out in the neutral zone. Paul Wilson chips it up. Oh, it's picked off. Dave Brown picks up the puck, chips it back in for the Bruins underneath the net, played by John Marini. Paul Wilson picks it up again, looks up ice, and fires a pass over to Brian Fagan. Puck's chipped back in. It's a little ping pong going back and forth. There it is. Over to Kieran from Paul Wilson. Back to Wilson. Up the middle of the ice now. Willie's looking for a guy. Finds Jay Continenza. Chips it deep under the Bruins goal. Frank McGowan with a pickup. Rob McGowan with a pickup. Chips it out of the zone and puts it in a safe spot. Kyle Scott picks it up by his own blue line for the Habs. Sent right back into the Bruins zone. Rob McGowan on the pickup again. Tries to go D to D to Dave Brown and chips it around to Jim Edmonds. Jim Edmonds working the boards, gets stripped by Paul Greenlee. Puck is down underneath again the goal line for the Bruins. Dave Brown chips it out, chips it by the defender, and it's now a 2-on-2 rush with Jim Edmonds towards the Habs zone across the blue line. Nice little turn away, Wayne Gretzky type turn for Davey Brown. Puck's turned over. We got an opportunity. Todd Cummings just getting a little way. That breakaway opportunity just a little too far. Dave Brown picks it up, tries to get rid of it. Oh, and another brilliant save and brilliant opportunity. Daryl Muscat on the save and Greenlee on the opportunity on the goalie's doorstep.
You have to think the Bruins are only winners of 2 playoff games and a 5-game round-robin playoffs. They want this to be a low-scoring championship game because that's kind of what they specialize in, low-scoring games. So the Bruins do. So if they can get one on the board, certainly tie things up, it could be interesting.
Absolutely, Mike. Falco and Greenlee on the face-off. The puck is dumped into the Bruins zone. Rob Kieran with a point shot. Picked up by Brian Moore behind the net. Out front, another great save by Daryl Muscat. As Todd Cummings was on the doorstep. Rob Riley, nice safe chip. It's a foot race. Robbie Kieran picks it up, dumps it into the Habs bench. Should take the whistle and relieve the pressure.
Bruins, as I said, only winners of 2 games in the playoffs. Only team in a long time, you probably know more about this, Scott, but only got into the final game with 6 points in the round robin.
It's a testament to how tight the league was this year. I know you are as well as I, Mike, veterans of the league over 10 years. It's never been this tight, so it was really good to see everyone have a chance that late. Puck's in the neutral zone. Picked up by Mike Baker, fishing for it. Robbie Kieran picks it up for the Habs, sends it wide to Brian Gratton, who slides the puck through the defender's leg. Takes a long shot on net that kicked out a juicy rebound. Almost picked up by Mark Goulet, but again, Daryl Muscat turned him away. Paul Wilson just trying to put it in a safe spot. Brandon Gratton picking it up for the Habs across the blue line. Wide shot, kick save by Daryl Muscat. Brian Moore will pick it up now for the Bruins. Chips it up, just out of the reach of Chris Falco. Kyle Scott picks it up, turns the other way, gives it right to Drew Tarnicki, who comes right back into the Habs zone. Tarnicki wide, throws a cross-ice pass, but doesn't find the mark. Picked up by Matt McIntosh and sent back in. Kyle Scott again for the Habs. Tries to find Gratton on the stretch, but it goes wide, and it will be another icing against the Habs.
Well, so far the game's just a little bit surprising because the Bruins have a 1-0 lead as we get close to the end of the first period anyway. I've seen fire. We talked about how the importance of the first goal of the game is for either team. So I'm just a little bit surprised that the Bruins are hanging on to a 1-0 lead this long.
Perfect, I agree. Couple number 8s in the face-off circle. One by Michael Taylor against Jay Continenza, but the puck comes out of the zone. McGowan chips it back in, and he turns the defender away. Matt McIntosh steps over the blue line, throws a pass in, pass the shot in. Marini with a glove save, face off to the right of Marini in the Habs zone.
So it was a 50-game regular schedule?
It was absolutely a bit of a grind.
And then 5 games in the playoffs, and then you get to the final game here in the 2014.
These guys may never win anything in their life other than this, so let's hope they'll take advantage of their opportunity. Most will never be back. Puck is chipped in underneath the Habs zone. Kyle Scott throws it back to a wide open Harrison Ristopoulos. Puck is moved up, picked off again. Dave Brown, just a fabulous defender, turns it away. Gives the dump gave Marini a little bit of fits there as it bounced around. Picked up Victor Bayless. Oh, Kyle Scott takes a pass intended on the far side for J.D. Pettit that was wide open. Michael Taylor breaks in with a lot of speed. Drop pass to Bayless. Shot on net. Great save, Marini. Again on the rebound. A great save by Marini. Bayless with a puck. Back to the defender, Matt McIntosh. Over to Dave Brown. Puck is twisting around here a little bit in the neutral zone. Grant Garbett at his own blue line. Steps around one player. Steps around another player. 1-on-2. Garbett with a shot. Big save by John Marini through traffic with a pad. Puck's moved back up the ice by the Habs. Todd Cummings over to Rob Dion, and Bruins turn him away and chip it out to a safe spot. Rob Kieran under his own blue line picks up the puck, looks up ice, and decides to take a shot on net from 120 feet. Daryl Muscat picks up the puck easily, and there'll be a face-off to the left of Muscat.
Would you agree that the Habs have had more chances? Like, if we had a total for the shots on goal, it looks like the Habs have had more chances to score than the Bruins, but the Bruins have the lead.
I would agree with you, Mike. The game is kind of playing out to each team's game plan. The Bruins are trying to outchange them and keep the puck into the Habs zone, trying to keep those playmakers of the Habs away from their goalie. Even though it looks like the Bruins are doing great, the majority of the scoring chances right now certainly look to be going towards the home team, the Habs, at this point. Puck stumped into the Bruins zone. Daryl Muscat behind the net to stop it. Chipped out by Brian Moore. Rob Riley couldn't handle the outlet. Jim Edmonds couldn't handle the outlet on that side. Long shot on net by the Habs, saved easily by Daryl Muscat. Face off to the right of the Bruins goal now.
The Canadiens firing on all cylinders in the playoffs as they have scored, get this, 24 goals in 5 games, and the Bruins had only 13 goals. Kind of surprising. The Bruins 13 goals, second most of all the teams in the playoffs.
A lot of firepower. This would be the big line for the Habs with Dion, especially with Greenlee. Face-off won by Paul Greenlee. Upped his face-off percentage to a career high 14.3% this year. So good for Greenlee. Puck is played on the dump-in by John Marini, out past the T-line, almost picked off by Mike Baker, and very fortunate the Habs are not down 2-0 right now. Greenlee across the Bruins blue line, chips it deep. Rob Riley with a puck, chips it out into a safe spot, picked up by Rob Kieran for the Habs, who dumps it right back into the Bruins zone. Rob Allen off the bench, fresh legs, throws a puck on net that was almost deflected by Greenlee. Picked up by Falco, who can't get the puck out. Brandon Gratton in the corner to the left of the goaltender. Throws a cross-ice pass, trying to get it out. Doesn't get out. Pete Crawley on the Habs blue line with a shot wide. Brandon Gratton picks it up underneath the goal line. Finds Kyle Scott out in the slot. The shot can't get through. Scott, the defender, now below the Bruins goal line. Nice little move to evade a forechecker. Throws the puck to the middle that there was no room for. Rob Riley putting the puck in a safe spot going down the ice. Line change right here for the Bruins. They better hustle. Marini's got great puck skills. Moves the puck up the ice quickly to Brandon Gratton. And the Habs are away again. 3-on-3 across the blue line. Pass misfires. Drew Tarnicki behind the Bruins net. Chips it back up. And there's no one there. Pete Crawley for the Habs. Picks it off. It takes a shot picked off by Michael Taylor with a burst of speed across the blue line. Michael Taylor. Oh, can't beat John Marini, who played it very well coming across on the deep. Matt McIntosh with a shot, and there he finds Victor Bayless on the back door for a tap-in. 2-0 Bruins on a very heady play.
Who would have thought the Bruins would have a 2-0 lead as we near the end of the first period? The Habs were definitely the favorite coming in, having won 5 games in the playoffs. I just assume they would continue with their winning streak. But right now, adversity is something that the Habs haven't had to battle through, and now they're going to have to battle through it.
A lot of veterans on that Bruins team as well. They're not going to give up easily. Face-off won by Michael Taylor. Away is Matt McIntosh, deep again into the Habs zone. You can see the Bruins are starting to feel it a little bit now with a 2-goal lead.
Yeah, it's surprising to see the Bruins have a 2-0 lead as we get to the end of the first period. The Habs come out. You would think guys like Greenlee, who else would you think of on the Habs that might come through, raise their game?
Certainly Brandon Marsh and Robbie Dion are very nifty players around the net for sure. Seem to have a little issue with the clock. It's getting fixed up here with a face-off to the left of the Habs goalie John Marini. We've got Brent Garbett against Jay Continenza on the draw. Continenza wins a scrummed-up draw. Brent Garbett with an opportunity on net. Comes out to Joe Idle out front. Nice save by goaltender Marini.
Bruins with another chance to score there and just raises some eyebrows. There's plenty of veteran players who know what they're doing, so we'll get to the Habs and make this a hockey game.
Strong side face-off for Garbett against Continenza this time. Again, just chipped to the boards. Garbett picks up his own draw, tries to center it. Puck comes out. Jimmy Edmonds with a shot on net. Garbett's out front looking for the rebound. Picked up by Jay Continenza, and there is a penalty. Robbie Kieran, not known for being shy, knocks Brent Garbett down. It looks like he's going to the box. Not the first time we've seen that, folks.
The Bruins have moved to the power play. See if they can increase the lead with 3 goals. Kind of unheard of or unthought of before the game. But that's the position they're in right now. The Bruins about to begin. 2 minutes on the power play against the Habs. With the 2-0 lead.
They've got some size advantage on this face-off right now. Brent Garbett, Joe Idle, and Jim Edmonds, all very, very nice physical size forwards. Face-off won by the Bruins. Joe Idle underneath the underneath the Habs net with a puck trying to center, gets stopped. Picked off by Pete Crawley, can't get it out. Back to the point, McGowan, down to Garbett. Garbett tries to center, which is picked off, and here goes Greenlee with the dump. Something goes all the way down the ice behind the net, and the Habs are racing to get it. Got to be careful if you're Bruins for Paul Greenlee, who's a threat defensively on the penalty kill as well. Greenlee picks it up and sends it back out of the Bruins zone so they can kill the clock, and the puck goes to Cal Scott in his own zone. Chris Falk on the forecheck. And now the Habs are able to clear. Marini plays the dump behind his net. Again, picked up by Cal Scott, who fires it the length of the ice. Oh, gets the stretch pass to Robbie D on a 2-on-0. And a goal. Smart play by Kyle Scott, who saw the stretch pass to Robbie Dion, who made no mistake going the 5-hole on Daryl Muscat. Just like we talked about, be careful on the penalty kill.
Get them on the board for the first time. Now 2-1. They're trailing the Bruins in this championship final, so things just got a little more interesting.
40 seconds to go in the period, and every Bruin was caught looking on offense and didn't see two guys sneak underneath them. Face off at center ice here, 2-1. Chris Falco loses the draw to Mark Goulet. Brian Fagan dumps it in, and the Bruins pick up the puck. Rob Riley battling on the boards, loses the battle. Brandon Marsh picks it up. Brandon Marsh beats one defender, beats his second defender as he carries deep, throws it on net, just a little bit wide. Mark Goulet and Chris Falco battling for a puck. Now it's picked up by Drew Tarnicki. Dumps it out. Jeremy Mango. Oh, streaking Brandon Marsh. One-on-one against Brian Moore in teeth. Good save by Daryl Muscat, who turns it away. Tarnicki picks up the rebound for the Bruins, heads the other way. Paul Wilson outlets over to Mango D2D as both teams start to make a change.
There we go, the end of the first period. 2-1 the score. The Bruins over the Habs in the championship game.
I think these teams have played to their styles, Mike.